All right, guys, welcome back. EYL, we got a special episode. We got my guy Jay Majors in the building, better known as the godfather of barbering.
Yeah,
Appreciate
that's a
that.
heavy title.
I know,
You
man.
take that title? You accept that?
I mean, I feel weird because there is a lot of my predecessors, but I believe that a lot of the business moves I made for the barbering industry was able to better the barbering industry as a whole. Not like I'm calling shots like Don Corleone, but I believe like I embraced it because like with my story with barbering saving my life, I felt like the opportunities that I was given, I want to give to others, you know. So maybe that's why they call me Godfather. A lot of the young bucks, the young barbers getting in come to me for advice, and I try to be there for them. A little too accessible sometimes, but
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a dope conversation, and it's important conversation because barbering is something that is huge
Essential.
in every community. It's essential. Yeah, during COVID, they deemed as essential workers. So you have a story not just of like being a barber, but building a real business behind it, right? You have the largest barbering event in the world.
Mhm.
You have a business model of suites that we're going to talk about. You're a consultant. So I guess that's why that title comes into play, not just from barbering skills,
Mhm.
but like how you've been able to grow and scale massively from the barbering industry. Most people kind of haven't got past the barbering phase.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about it. First and foremost, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it.
No, I appreciate it. I'm honored to be here. I've been watching you guys, especially from COVID when we were all glued to our phones, just watching your growth and what you've been, you know. I believe that people like us are blessed by what we give, the opportunities we give, and the platform that you've given so many people is what made EYL what it is today. So
Have you
I'm
watched?
honored to be here, man.
Have you watched the development of my beard?
Yeah, no, you guys are always on point. I'm not gonna lie.
I appreciate that,
Yeah,
man.
you
I
guys are on
appreciate
point,
that.
you know?
So, all right, you have an interesting story how you even got into barbering.
Yeah.
You said barbering saved your life. You want to tell that story?
I mean, in and out of institutions and troubles with the law since 14. Did my real like incarceration away from home, a year sentence at the age of 17. So I spent like my 18th birthday incarcerated. And I came from the family, like my family didn't have much, so they couldn't send me money when I was locked up. So like you do the crime, you do the time. So I made pretend I was a barber because I was already like doing my own edge ups and stuff because we didn't have money for haircuts like that. I didn't go all the time, and I should have went back to jail for the haircuts I was given. Bro, I was putting
Misdemeanor.
hairlines back. I mean,
That's dangerous. You ain't getting no trouble from
yeah, I mean,
lines up.
I almost had to fight a couple of times. You know, I mean, it was never that bad, but you know, definitely like mediocre beginner haircuts. But I started getting better because you have nothing but time in there. And I had an epiphany on my last incarceration because I was like a repeat offender. And I remember CEOs being like, you know, and I'd be like, you'll be back. And I was like, why am I dedicating so much time to being in the streets when I could take this barbering thing really serious? Because I had a lot of commissary in there. I was like the man.
You got good after.
I got really good.
How long it take you to get good? Torture yourself.
I personally believe like I still needed more practice with scissors because we weren't allowed to use them in there. But I would say like 2.5 years into my sentence, I was cutting hair from the second I woke up to the second I went to bed.
Every day.
All day. And it made my time go by faster, but it was really an eye-opener. Like I could really do this when I go home.
Yeah. What type of equipment they allow you using there?
I was using a beard trimmer with a MacGyvered battery pack so we could plug it into the wall because they were battery operated. And then, you know, there's ways like you break a razor open for the edge ups and, you know, use coffee for beard dye. I mean, we done did it.
Oh, you have beard dye in there?
Damn.
Coffee. For temporary, they're going to a visit. We would use instant coffee for beard dye. Yeah.
So you taught yourself?
Pretty much, yeah, self-taught. There was no YouTube and stuff back then.
There wasn't like an OG barber in the jail that kind of...
There was a couple, you know, but like basically it was a hustler, right? Like I've always been a hustler my whole life. I used to sell mixtapes, not mix CDs, mixtapes, like Diggable Planets, Daz Effects, like that far back.
So
DJ Clue.
okay, we from the same era.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So I felt like I was always a hustler, but you know, when I chose to sell drugs, I would always get incarcerated. Something always would happen. And I was like, I'm going to treat this barbering just like I treated the streets. And I'm going to go full throttle with it. And I never looked back.
So after you get released, how do you now turn this? You've obviously learned a skill.
Yeah.
how do you turn this into a business? Are you like renting a chair?
Yeah.
Are you going to somebody's shop?
So ironically enough, I grew up in the Hartford area of Connecticut, and I went about 45 minutes up the highway to New Haven County. And I thought I got a job like in a really nice upscale shop, but I was like right in the hood, just like the hood that I left in Hartford. So I was like, damn, like no matter where you go, there you are though. Like I felt as if a lot of my friends that I grew up with, number one, they were all dying. Like I lost 4 of my real close friends to murders, 1 motorcycle accident when I was incarcerated, like my true friends. And when I came home, my friend's mother was like, you're next. I had a dream that you're gonna die next. And I was like, it really hit me because I was really close to him and his mother. And I was like, it even pushed me a little bit more to take this barbering serious. So I relocated to New Haven County in a halfway house, and I started building a lot of clients. But clients, I was fortunate to get clients that were like realtors and loan officers at banks because I knew how to use shears at the time, like scissors. And I was building these clientele. And rather than talking about the game, like the LeBron game, or like nowadays Diddy's a big topic, right? Like rather talking about bullshit in the barbershop, excuse my language, I would talk about like, how do I get my credit score up? How can I get a loan for my first property? I would speak to these clients about that, and they built me up. So like, I'm not self-made. Is my clients that sat in my chair that opened so many doors for me.
Yeah, we always say the barber is like a therapist for people, and it's a relationship that people have once a week, an hour. They sit down, and yeah, like you said, it's a great networking opportunity.
100%. Like before the internet, there was the barbershop. So like people, yo, where do I get my windows tinted? Where can I, where can I do this? And we were networking for so many years without even knowing it, like back in the days, if you need to hear something, you would hear it in the barbershop, especially in the hood where I was cutting.
You guys are very unique people. Yeah. It's like the one person that you at some point in your life are going to trust more than yourself. Yeah. Like some people won't even touch their own hair 100%. Or their own beard because they are in fear that they're going to mess it up. They only will allow their barber to do that. Obviously you get these clients, but the most important thing is the trust, right? Because like that's what keeps us coming back.
100%.
How did you build that up?
I don't even think it's like, I think a lot of barbers, unfortunately, in 2025 are lacking customer service. They're doing it for the money. I never did this for the money. I did this for the passion. And like, I got to know these people that became my friends. Like one guy was Joe the plumber. Another guy was Frank the electrician. And I would put them on my phone underneath that because I know one day I'm gonna need a plumber. One day I'm gonna need an electrician if I want to open my own business. So I built bonds, and I would support their business just like they support mine. My plumber has been my plumber for 22 years now. I just bought 3 Airbnbs, and as we speak, he is doing a plumbing cap off on all 3 of my properties to winterize them, like right now while we're in this podcast. So these are I support those that support me. I'm at 4 generations, father, grandfather, great-grandson, like grandfather, 4 generations, because I've been open 21 years now, and people are having kids young. So, to me, it's like, it's all about the community.
So you start off, you're working in a barbershop.
Correct.
When do you scale to own a barbershop?
So at this point, I was working in a barbershop. I had like a little clothing business, like when white tees were big, I was wearing them 5X white tees. I was selling tees and stuff. And there was an older gentleman who was a real estate developer, and he took a liking to me. And he was like, bro, I got to get you out of this neighborhood. Because the neighborhood was getting really bad. It was really bad. A lot of drugs, dangerous. And he's like, I'm opening a strip mall in West Haven, Connecticut. I'll help you with the fill up. It's a manila envelope. I'm like, what's a manila envelope? What's a fit up? Like, I'm from the streets. Like, I didn't know these things. And he goes, just you pick which spot you want. I'll give you like 3-4 months rent free, and I'll help pay for your electrical and stuff, which was a big opportunity because electricians are very expensive. And I opened my first shop, but I chose a 1,400 square foot spot, and that's a big barbershop. Yeah. So, but if you build it, they will grow. Like one of my mentors said, you rather grow into your barbershop than out of your barbershop. So I went from a 12-chair shop. I only had 3 barbers. My 4th barber had to buy his own chair in order to work for me, and I took it out of his rent because I ran out of money on the build-up. From 12 chairs with the 13 and 14, then the business next door was a pet store, went out of business. And then it was a 22 chair shop operating. But the beauty about my shop, it was like the United Nations. I had West Indian barbers. I had Latinos, you know, all different types of Latinos, white, Asian. So like anyone could come to my barbershop and get a haircut. And to me, the diversity was important. You know, we had black barbers, and like some people at that time were like, I only want to go to, he looks like me. Okay, he cuts my hair. Like women barbers weren't even getting love 20 years ago. Now they're killing it in the industry. So yeah, like for real, like I had a woman barber and I felt so bad, and she was nice. She came straight from DR, and people really didn't want to sit with her until they seen her haircuts. So, you know, I believe like diversity is key. I think at the barbershop is like, should be common grounds for people just to feel comfortable.
Yeah. Did you saw that early on in the landscape? I feel like, you know, you grow up, it was like, oh, there was supercuts, nobody's going there. And it was like, oh, yeah, we got to go to the local barbershop. But to unify it all, I mean, it's a brilliant technique. I see it now more than ever. Like the guy who does my beard, he's Colombian.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody goes into the shop.
Yeah.
And even Ab, like you said, his barber was a woman.
Yeah.
So like that diversity, you saw that how the game was going before it, or you just like, you know what, we've got to adapt here.
I mean, I feel like I'm just such a businessman that I want everyone's money. You know what I mean? Like there's always been a stereotype where like a black gentleman would come into the shop and be like, y'all cut black hair? Or a white person would come in the shop and be like, you do this type of hair? Like it was like, it was a stereotype. And I feel as if like with the clippers nowadays being cordless, with our tools that we have, you know, I think the kids in school nowadays are learning all different types of hair textures. And I believe the game has definitely, has elevated a lot. Barbers are getting, I'm sure you're paying a lot more for your beard than what you paid, 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but unfortunately, historically, barbers were getting the same for haircuts from the 90s all the way to about 2010, 2015, 2020. They were scared to go up on their prices.
So what changed that? Because now, I mean, we're in the, like 100. There was a big debate online, $100 haircut. Yeah. I think Casanat said he would never pay $100 for a haircut, but I mean, you got people that's paying $200, $300 for a hair.
$1,000.
Yeah. Who started that? Atlanta?
I mean, I really look at it like this, man. How much is an hour worth of your time? How much is an hour worth of your time? Like, are you paying for the haircut? Are you paying for the professionalism, the time management that person has? Like, I know when I call my barber, he's going to be on time to cut my hair. I'm a very busy man. I'd rather pay extra to get in and out of his chair than to be sitting in the barbershop BSing with a bunch of people, or, you know, 40 minutes late for an appointment with possibly some dirty clippers. You know, I feel as if there's different calibers, right? Like some people shop at Louis and Saks, and some people are cool with Target. So I really depend. Now, I also, on the flip side, there's a lot of barbers that charge $100 for haircuts that don't have the credentials, that don't have the professionalism and the punctuality. If that's what they think they're worth, they might be doing less haircuts and getting paid that, but I don't think they're fully booked.
Talk about, I mean, you just brought up a pain point, I felt like, for the barbershop industry. We grew up in an era where it was Saturday, you're going to get a cut, you go in there, it's 9 o'clock, you might be in there till 4 before you get your cut.
Easy.
Technology
all day.
Technology has definitely changed that. Has that, obviously, I mean, to me, that would help increase profit margins, right? Now you can have it scheduled and put more people on that regimented schedule than how they used to be. Talk about the role that technology has played in the space.
I mean, yeah, and especially, you know, big shout outs to Squire for only focusing on the barber, you know, aspect. Like they could do salons and many nail salons, but they mainly focus on barbering. I feel like everyone's in a rush nowadays, especially after COVID. Like, you know, everything's at the palm of our hands, instant gratification's at the palm of our hands. I miss the days when my fun clients would be in the barbershop for 3-4 hours. You always know you got the barbershop clown, you got the dude that's coming in with the bootleg CDs. Like, I miss those days. Unfortunately, they have changed. And a lot of people are sensitive. Like in the barbershop, you had to have thick skin. I remember like wanting to go home crying because me and one of my barbers would be ranking on each other so bad, or you did a bad haircut. But I feel like society, you know, unfortunately is getting a little soft. You know, people can't take certain, you know, oh, you're bullying him. No, we're just catching wreck in a barbershop. That's what we do. So I feel like, unfortunately, the environment changes. That's kind of why, and I know we'll speak about this a little bit later, I shifted to the suites, because I feel like with that intimate relationship that we have with our clients, getting them in and out, that they just really want to be focused on themselves if they're paying top dollar for haircuts.
Well, yeah, talk about that as far as the suites, because you at one point you transitioned from a regular traditional barbershop model to the suites. So explain your model with the suites and what made you transition into that.
So I'm controversial. Like some people don't agree with me. I don't believe you own the barbershop unless you own the building. You own the name, you own the sign, you might own the chairs. But if you have a landlord, and a lot of these landlords pocket watch, and unfortunately a lot of barbers don't have a real big education. They don't even get an attorney to look at their lease. They're so excited to open their business that they'll sign like a 3-year lease. And what happens is it takes about 18 months to really grow your brand and get your money back from your business, even just to break even, right? And I've seen landlords pocket watch people and be like, oh man, this car is going in and out this lot. This barbershop's busy. So we're going to go from $3,000 a month to $4,500 a month. Now this barber just started making money, and now they have to go up on their haircuts. They have to hire more people, or they might have to move out and find a cheaper location once their lease is up. So I've told this, and people argue with me, like, you might own the brand, you might own the name, but unless you own the land, unless you own the property, and a barbershop nowadays, a fit up's about $80,000. Are you really want to put $80,000 into someone else's business, someone else's building, and then pay their mortgage on top of it and pay the common area charges, which sometimes aren't even met to good standards? Sometimes they don't plow the snow in time. So once I had that 22 chair shop and I saved up enough money, I was like, my rent is a mortgage. I need to find a building. So that was why I transitioned into to suites.
And what was that first step to find a building and do that?
So, obviously, like you talk about here, building your credit, right? Building your LLC's credit. Also, my first step was getting with one of my realtor clients saying, hey, can you find me something off market? And coincidentally, right before COVID-19, at the end of 2019, I found a building which had 8 apartments upstairs and it had a dental office downstairs. So when I did a walkthrough with my contractor, he's like, all right, we got to rip all these walls down. We're going to put 20 chairs here. I'm like, wait a second. They're talking about social distancing right now. There's there's hand sinks and dental sinks in every room. I could turn one sink into a hand sink, one sink into a shampoo sink, and the barbers could all have private rooms to cut hair, which the salon suites have been around for a while, but not in our industry 100% for barbering. So what I did was I came up with this location, and it's like micro real estate. If you're getting $325 a week, you're getting about $1,300 a month for a 10 by 10 room. You put 20 10 by 10 rooms in a 4,000 square foot space, you do the math. And then you could do like a 2-man suite where 2 barbers that are friends, let's say you guys want to go on an endeavor together. You get a little break on the rent, but you guys could work together because you've been so used to working together. And I'm on my second location now, and it's been an amazing journey for that.
That's an interesting model. We heard about that in the salon space where they get suites. It's like they're going to do hair here, there's nails there, there's an esthetician there, and it makes a lot of sense. You said something important. You said it takes about 18 months to build your brand. In this space, I mean, because it can be tough. How do you market yourself? Because I feel like you coming from an era where it was hearsay. It was like, yo, he's nice with the lineups. Yo, he can tape it. Your fade crazy. You should go check him out. Yeah. Now it's like once you get your barber, it's going to be tough to move from that barber, right? So how do you market your brand in this era?
Well, due to me doing the Connecticut Barber Expo, being an educator, being a consultant, having a decent following on Instagram, people tend to gravitate towards you that want to do what you're doing. And to me, that's always like keeping my word has always been a big thing for me. Like my word is my bond, and I stand by that. And I believe that when you do that in business, people have no choice but to respect it. We're always gonna have our haters, right? Like, unfortunately, people we grew up with can't handle our success. I'm sure you guys might be going through it. That's a whole another podcast, right? But I feel as if, the way I've always held it down is like I've been giving so many people the opportunity. I can't even tell you, this coming up on my 20-year anniversary in January, and we're going to do a reunion of everyone that's opened their own barbershop, because I have thousands of men and women that are able to open their own brand just because they worked underneath my umbrella at one point. to me, that's extremely gratifying. And I think that's where the blessings come.
So let's go back to the salon suite to really break it down. So you bought the building.
Mm-hmm.
You have 8 apartments.
There's 8 apartments upstairs, correct?
Okay.
3 barbers currently live upstairs, so they just come right downstairs to work.
Okay. So it's an 8 apartment real estate play that you're renting out apartments. On the bottom level, there's how many chairs?
24.
24 chairs, but they're cornered off to each, like, it's like you have your own space.
Yeah, maybe when we edit this, I can give you some B-roll for it. But so basically, both of my locations have a 4-chair barbershop in the front because I don't want to really lose the barbershop culture. I'm trying to hold on to it the most I can, right? So I have a 4-chair barbershop. I own a barber school. Once a student graduates,
the school is in the building too?
No, it's another location.
All right.
So once they graduate and I feel that they're good enough to work for me, I will put them in a 4-chair barbershop at a cheaper rate than a suite. Once they build up enough clientele and they're like, Jay, I'm ready, someone just moved out into a suite and opened their own business, because that's usually what happens. They start off in a shop, go to a suite, and then open their own barbershop. I'll move that student into a suite and I'll just keep recycling it. So it's like a 360 rotation deal that I have. Train them, job place them, get them in a suite, then send them on to open their own business. And we provide accountants and everything for them to do that.
And so the suite is like, you get to call it whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But technically you have your own barbershop in that suite.
Correct. So they could put their own stickers as long as they match the
aesthetic.
And yeah, anything they do in their room, they pretty much could do on their own as long as they give me the room back. So I have 2 options. You could get a manila envelope, which is just an empty room. You could paint it. We have TV plugs, we have wires ran, so you could design it yourself. Or my design team could design it, and they could also lease the furniture from me. So I buy containers of barber chairs from Turkey, and I buy certain, toolboxes. So if let's just say you came and you work for me and you're like, Jay, I don't know how to do any of this construction stuff. I'll get you quotes, like my guy's gonna charge you this to paint it, and then you could finance the chair from me. I'm buying the chairs wholesale, so I also get to make money off the furniture as well.
Wow. Equipment as well, or they bring their own equipment?
No, like if you wanted to, if you're like, Jay, I like that black and gold chair and I like that station, I'd be like, all right, well, we'll add it to your lease and you could pay me like $100 a week towards the chair until it's paid off. So they can also finance furniture from me.
They pay you a set price, anything over and above that they keep.
Correct.
You don't get a percentage of the haircuts.
I mean, I have some barbers that make nothing.
You just
and to me, some people are like, oh, go percentage, you make more money. It's also babysitting, like by them having their own online booking, they have this called the Squire Flex app. By them having their own online booking, they manage everything. And what happens is they come in, they paint it, they hang a TV, they give it their own personality, and you have a longer lasting renter or / barber, employee, whatever you want to call it. They're with you forever because it's their own personal space.
So you got 24 rents coming in.
Yeah.
24 rents.
Yeah.
And 8 apartment rents.
Correct.
Every month.
Every month. And that one location. Then I have another one with 2 apartments upstairs and 24 as well.
Mm.
And the beauty is
so you got like 50 rents coming in.
Correct. Every week.
For 2 buildings.
For 2 buildings.
Yeah. And the chairs, you said the suites you said is $325?
2-man suites are $500 or $525, depending if they have a shampoo bowl in the suite.
Yeah.
And then it's $300 to $325 a week, depending on what.
Oh, a week. Okay, a week.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Weekly. And then we even like have it to a science. Like every suite has to use different color towels because there's a washer and dryer in house. And when I first opened, everyone was fighting like, those are my towels. These are my towels. So there's a little sticker on the window for what color towel they use, and then I give them a link to order the towels. Like I kind of have everything to a science.
How much did the building cost?
My first building, I bought 2 buildings. The one with the apartments upstairs, I had to knock down the house next door for parking. The house was pretty beat down, but I kept it as a lot. I kept it subdivided, so if I ever wanted to build on it, I can. That one I paid $790 for 2 buildings.
For 2 buildings?
2 buildings, yeah.
You turned a lot into
a parking.
A
parking lot, yeah. And I even have EV charging
for the spaces?
For the spaces as well, to make money off of that. And then the second location I got for $590. It's got 2 2-bedroom apartments upstairs and then the suite. It was actually a Chinese restaurant.
So you all together you pay like $1.2 million
Yeah.
and you're getting 50 rents every single month.
Yeah.
Because those rents are like apartment rent.
More. I mean, there's no way. Yeah. I mean, there's no way you're going to rent out a 4,000 square foot business in the state of Connecticut for, I mean, I would think maybe on the high side, I get $3,500 a month on just one of mine. I mean, if I'm lucky.
Yeah. And you're going to get $1,200 a suite.
Yeah.
And then the chairs that get rented.
Yes. Maybe
charging for parking.
That's a good model, man.
Yeah,
that's a nice hit right there. I mean, it makes sense though, because you know, it's that level of exclusivity, right? Where you feel like I don't necessarily want to be in the waiting room with 37 people that I don't know and have to deal with this people lying and shit like that. So it's like the barber has their own little, and then that real estate play is perfect too.
I mean, a guy like you goes in the barbershop in Queens on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Yo, I need some advice. Should I do LLC or S Corp? Bro, like we can't go anywhere without. So like the doors closed, the shades down, whatever music you choose or whatever.
100%.
I mean, to me, it's a beautiful thing. Some people, I don't recommend it. It's not for the week. If you don't have a lot of clients.
Because it's gotta be appointment.
Gotta have clients.
It's appointment based.
Yeah. I mean, it is believe it or not, thank God my suites, we can do walk-ins.
Okay. Like you have a waiting room area.
We have a waiting room area with a TV and I have a directory of who's in what suite.
It's like the dentist.
Yeah, it's very simple. Yeah, I mean, I kept it, you know, with kind of the.
Who gave you that idea to do this?
I mean, I've heard of it. Like JC Suites been doing it for years. Sola Suites. I just honestly, COVID was like the gift and the curse, right? Because to me, I feel like COVID gave a lot of separation to people, you know, Democrat, Republican, or what people's beliefs are. But, you know, it gave us time to sit down and think. You know, I was, you know, in the house with the family, and I feel that no one really gave me the idea, but I kind of, so my suites are called major luxury suites, right? My abbreviation is MLS. What does MLS stand for?
Like
major luxury suites?
No.
MLS?
No, MLS.
Major League Soccer?
No, that is the real estate listing. So when you're on real estate.
There you go.
So I'm on a McDonald's.
MLS number.
MLS numbers.
Yeah.
So basically, for the real estate listings, my MLS motto is to own the building. So if I ever franchise it out, that would be my thing. Like, I don't want to own the building. You could do what you want to do. That's what McDonald's does, right? They don't sell burgers. They sell real estate.
And you always have apartments in it? That's your motto too?
That tries to be my motto. Because to me, the apartments pay the mortgage. Everything else is profit. You know? There's a sorting houses everywhere, especially in Connecticut.
How long did it take you to get that level of structure? Because that's not so. I mean, when you grow up, you never think of the barber as the entrepreneur. Yeah. But this is the first entrepreneur most people probably ever meet, is the person that is cutting their hair. How long did it take you to get to that point of structure to have what you're running now?
I mean, like, I started that on the streets. Like, you know what I mean? Like, those are the first entrepreneurs. Like, even when I was selling mixtapes, I would go to Canal Street, right where we are, and buy the mixtapes from Amadou. He's probably out there.
Shout out to Amadou.
Amadou been here forever.
Yo, you're a legend.
Dollar mixtapes.
We all know Amadou, man.
Yeah, Amadou. Buy dollar mixtapes and sell them for $5 in Connecticut, you know? So, you know what, man? Like, I always say this. I'm here for a reason. I've been through so much. I'm incarcerated. People tried taking my life when I was younger. I lived a really rough life. I chose it. I didn't have to do that. You know, like, I didn't come from we didn't have money. Like, it was like there was food in the house, but I chose the streets for whatever reason that was, you know, that's what attracted me. So, you know, I kind of feel as if, like, I've always been a hustler. Adding the structure came as time by my mentors, by the people that sat in my chair. Like I said, for 35 minutes, I'm going to pick your brain on how to better myself as a businessman rather than to talk about sports or who's better, Biggie, Jay-Z or not. Like, it's really sad, the conversations that go, like, a lot of barbers stay stagnant because they're in the shop 60 hours a week and there's not a lot of good information coming in there. It's all controversy. It's all, and, you know, I wanted to change the narrative. Like, I didn't let a lot of that stuff go on in my shop. A lot of people didn't want to work for me because of that. Like, we're not playing music with swears in it. We're not, you know, like, I don't want to talk about that street stuff, who got shot, who got indicted. Like, you could talk about that on your break, but I didn't want my place to be an atmosphere for breeding that type of negativity.
Shout out to all the barbers that's playing Earn Your Leisure. That I've ran into several.
A
barbers.
lot.
It's a fact.
Yeah,
A lot. That's
Shout out to
am I
them.
the first barber that's been on here? Or no?
No, we had a few. We had
Damn.
Wade. You know Wade, the
Wade,
barber? You ever heard of him?
Wait, this is my guy.
Yeah, with the headpieces.
Wade's my guy.
Yeah, but so all right. So you got this rocking and rolling as far as the Salon Suites.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the biggest event in the world.
Yeah.
So when do you have the idea to actually have an in-person event, and how do you scale that to where it is now? How many people come to that event?
That 10,800 last year was
Wow.
my biggest attendance that we counted. Like, you know, sometimes people, that's including vendors. So I was cutting a lot of celebrities, a lot of Latin artists as well. I was doing, and I partnered in a nightclub, which was the worst mistake I've ever made.
In Connecticut?
Yeah, in Connecticut. I partnered in a nightclub. I invested in a nightclub that lasted about a year and a half. For some reason, Connecticut men rather fight than spend time with women in a nightclub. I'm from Connecticut, but it's just they fight like every night. And my attorney goes, so Major League Barbershop was sponsoring these nightclub events because the promoters were getting haircuts at my shop, and the club owner came to me and said, bro, you're bringing more people to my club than the promoters. Why don't you just keep the door and I'll keep the bar? So I started doing that. And then eventually I bought a club. And I was cutting a lot of artists, and I would book them because I was cutting them. They would give me better prices. I was cutting their management, and they'd be like, hey, we're going to be in Boston tonight. Do you have a venue? And I would book like a lot of Latin artists. I worked with 50 Cent for like a year and a half when he lived in Connecticut. I did 2 boxing events with him, and I started learning the organization of events. So by accident, I was like, there's a lot of controversy about who could cut hair better. So I did a barber battle called Your Barber's Favorite Barber in a nightclub. It was $20 to get in, and you could compete for free. And my first sponsor was $50. Everyone said, who's going to come to Connecticut? No one's going to fly to Connecticut. It's hard to get in and out of. And I'm like, watch, I'm going to make it happen. I had a lot of Connecticut support in the beginning. As the show started building, I was losing that support because, you know, that saying they want to see people, you want to see you do good, but not better than them. I feel like people don't want to see you do good nowadays. And I have more people in Dallas, Texas in 2022 at my show than Connecticut, like ticket-wise. And so I started in a nightclub. I did it 2 years in a nightclub. The fire department shut us down to capacity. Then I moved to Toyota Oakdale Theater, did 3 years there. Then I brought it to my hometown in Hartford. I did it for about 4 years there. I got the key to the city. I got the proclamation for the mayor for bringing so much tourism to the state of Connecticut. And I was fortunate enough to get into Mohegan Sun nightclub. That was actually a 50 play because someone that 50 does bookings with put me on with the casino. And I've been there ever since. That's a beautiful. Was that your first time?
Yeah, my first time. Yeah,
It's a beautiful
I
venue.
appreciate it, man. I was happy to be there.
Yeah.
So, but how did you scale it though? Like, how did you get to the point where this is the premier event?
So I had to put a lot of money into it. Like, so I felt as if barbers, when we go to an international hair show, because we were urban, quote unquote, where they were tattooed up, they would kind of put us like by the bathroom. They'd be like, oh, you guys get a little stage over here. We'll keep you away from the big brands. And I felt offended by that. So what I did was I took a lot of the smaller brands. I just scaled it by building. I would go shop to this day. I will go shop to shop, school to school. And like I go speak to students around the nation. I start in Maine and I drive all the way to Connecticut, and I start in Philadelphia and I drive, and I do 3 schools a day. And I kind of tell my story, how I went from, absolutely nothing to homelessness to the entrepreneur I am today. So I think it's a lot of groundwork because at that time, barbers didn't even have credit cards. Like they would have to buy tickets cash. I would have barbers drive from Queens and meet me off the highway because they couldn't buy a ticket online. They didn't have a credit card. That's how primitive our industry was in 2008.
They didn't accept credit card. They just accepted all cash.
All cash.
All cash.
And like cash is not even king anymore. It really isn't. So it just, you know what, man? Like it was organic. It just kept growing. I'm not a very religious person, but I'm spiritual. Like God has, like, this is God. Like this is not me. I'm not this powerful to bring 10,000 people to the middle of my state. But I think that what happened was the energy in that room and the doors that were opening from everyone that was attending, they would go back and say, bro, you need to go to this show. I just got a sponsorship with a clipper company. Bro, you need to go to this show. I just found a place to furnish the barbershop. You need to go to this show. I met so-and-so, so-and-so, and I'm possibly going to do a collaboration on social media. So I think it was more what was happening in the rooms that made it big.
Yeah, I think as the average person that's listening is probably like what happens at the show. I remember hearing about trade shows, but you hear about them and it was always like for salons and hairstylists. When you hear about barbershop, are those the type of things we're looking for? New equipment, we're looking for potential partnerships. Is there new techniques? Like what are we bringing each year? And then it's tough because when we do an event, it's like, how do you top last year? What can you do that's innovative this year? Like, what's that process for you?
It's the same thing. You know, I want to grow every year. Yes, you can learn about haircuts. To me, like a lot of these barbers go there already know how to cut hair good. There's some beginners that might want to learn here. The reason why I want to earn your leisure at my show is I feel like barbers as a whole make a lot of cash, but retire broke. I've seen barbers that have Rolexes that have a GoFundMe because they got into a car accident. I've seen barbers that can't afford to pay for their own burial. They can't even pay for their own funeral, an $8,000 funeral, but they're popping bottles every weekend. It was money coming in, but it was going out just as fast as it was coming in. So at my education seminars, I've been focusing more on building wealth, 401k, Roth IRAs, SEP IRAs, putting your children on payroll. So many different things that I feel like the barbers, they don't teach you that in barber school. Number one, they don't teach you that in barber school. And if you're not speaking to the right people sitting in your chair, or if you're not attracting the right people to your chair, how are you going to learn this stuff? Majority of barbers get their barber license and never go back to school a day of their life. So, you know, you can come to my show. There's a huge competition. I always have entertainment, after party, pre-parties. We also do a big award ceremony, giving back to people that cut the homeless, giving back to people that do things for the community. So it is definitely a community-based event. But to me, my most important thing is the reason why I invited you guys and other speakers in the past, whether it's men's mental health or it's about investing your money. I believe if we don't have a good retirement plan as a barber, then real estate should be the way to go. They're not building more land, you know.
And then even the barber, the financial planning aspect of it. The last event that I spoke about, the own occupation disability insurance, that was something that just came to me because I used to be a financial advisor, and like dentists, you know, they can get insurance on their hands.
Of course. Yeah.
Because like if they get carpal tunnel syndrome, then they're no longer able to perform dentistry, but they can still teach.
Yeah.
They can still make money. So you can get insurance policy, disability insurance policy for just one particular thing. Yeah. And for a barber, that's the same thing. That's their hands, right? Like that's vitally important. So even for them to know that, like you said, for them to set up their IRA, because there's nobody that's doing it for them.
No.
Right? It's like even health insurance.
Yeah.
And it's another thing too, is that what's your thoughts on this? Because most people get paid in cash or some form of cash.
Correct.
So like when your taxes come, right? Like you might not have that full amount of money, then you try to buy real estate and then they see, oh, you made $10,000 for the year. Like, you know what I'm saying, how are we going to qualify you for $1 million mortgage?
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on that? How was you able to like navigate that as far as like making sure you're keeping a record, make sure you're paying enough taxes so you can get a mortgage? Like,
so I strongly recommend, like, if you're a barber renting a chair and Rashad's a barber, so I would get like Rashad Barber LLC. And I would set up a business account with a local bank, and anything you buy with that debt. See, the big problem is barbers buy a lot of supplies, neck strips, talc powder, brushes. They don't even write them off. So those are business expenses. So I recommend getting an LLC. And I don't want to be that LLC guy on a podcast. We hear that all the time. But it's important for barbers to understand this. Yeah. You get that LLC, you get that business credit card. And honestly, unless you're paying $60,000 a year nowadays, at least, claiming like $60,000 a year, banks don't even look at you to buy a property. But what the key is, and it was an old Italian guy who owned a lot of real estate, and I would cut his hair, and he barely had hair to cut. And he goes, your first home should always be a multifamily, no matter what. Because he says, a home is your worst liability. You think it's an asset?
Fact.
Yeah.
100%.
So he goes, so I bought my first home I went to go buy a single family. They didn't approve me for $149,000. I did not get approved. So he's like, you got to pay more tax. I had an S550, like hustling backwards here. You know what I mean? So I bought a 2-family house. I built an addition on it. I got a 203K loan where I could put $50,000 of that construction. Paid some of my contractors cash or whatever it was. But you know, that house I still own to this day. I owe like $60,000 on that house, and that house right there is bringing in like $4,200 a month, and my mortgage is $1,100 with tax and insurance. So I moved out of that house. I bought another house, rented that house. Then I bought not my dream house, but a very comfortable house for my family with a really good school system. And then I don't know. I'm a little different. I'm not the refinance guy. I don't like being in debt. So I'll hold the equity, and with the money that I earn from everything, every show I try buying a new property. So for my profits of every expo, I buy another piece of real estate, because I don't think the expos are going to go forever. That's just my I feel like the younger generation of barbers don't believe in the power of shaking hands and networking. They're like, oh, can you streaming it, or can I see it on YouTube?
Yeah.
So I don't know how much longer of a run. I don't want to put that out there. Like, you know, I hope and pray that I can keep going, because I know it's helping so many people. But if that doesn't go, I'm gonna find another way. And I think that's the key to being a true entrepreneur. Like, you're always gonna find a way to earn.
Yeah, it's crazy. As you said that, it made me think this new generation. It ties into a statement you made earlier about attracting the right clients. Is there a formula to it? Because, yeah, when you think about it, if you have the same people coming in, the conversation isn't elevating. Those same people are going to keep coming in because they're your clients. How do you get a new base? Is it social media? Like, how does one get that if they're like in this space right now?
I mean, Google reviews are great. You know, integrating Google reviews. Word of mouth is, to me, like, we go back to a biblical. I mean, there's been drawings in Egyptian chambers of people getting haircuts. So like, we are one of the oldest professions in the world. And I think people try complicating it. I think just giving out a business card, or, trying to, during the holidays is the best time to build clients, because it's like when people go to their regular barber is so overbooked if you don't get there in time. So during the holidays, I tell my barbers, like, when these people are walking in, they're coming from all foreign barbershops. Like, if you win them over, you probably could have a new client, because people get offended when they can't get a holiday haircut. So, when it comes to like getting a more high-end clientele, where are you looking for your clientele? Are you looking for the guys that are popping bottles? Are you looking for, you might have to go to a Chamber of Commerce meeting and bring your business cards and meet with a realtor, or meet with a firm, or meet with loan officers. Like, show me who you walk with, I'll tell you who you are, right? And there's been a time where like my circle has changed so much. And unfortunately, there's some of like my real good friends that they're still up to the same, BS I was up 2 years ago. And I kind of had to separate myself from them. It's a growing pain, right? Because I love them, but I can't be around that in the position that I am in the community today. So you just got to go out there and just, I guess, put yourself in different places, Instead of being in a hood hookah spot, you might need to be in an upscale, steakhouse and rubbing shoulders with them people,
Mm-hmm.
So talk about your consulting business. When did that start? How's that going?
Yeah, that started, man, it's been going on about 12 years now. People were amazed that I could get people to fly to the middle of Connecticut. And it started off consulting other smaller barber shows. I was one of the first shows that were getting big paychecks from corporate sponsors, because of the numbers that I was doing and the activations. I was getting very creative with activations. As you saw, like at the show, how we have cool little activations. And being a barber for so many years and being successful and having worked with some of the biggest like artists in the industry, I was able to sell myself. I had my own pitch deck, and I just would send it to people. And I've gotten publications, Yahoo Finance, and say, hey, like, I am a barber originally, but I'm a barber entrepreneur. So by me having business savvy and the savvy of an actual creative barber, I was able to say, well, if you have a product line, I could help you pump it, because I know what barbers are looking for, but you're going to have to pay for it. So, I do that. Like, one of my biggest clients in the world is Conair Corporation. They're a $50 billion annual industry in the hair world, the Conair blow dryer.
Conair, yeah.
and they have like Babyless, and they have different derivatives.
That's theirs, baby. This is theirs.
They own Babyless as well.
Oh, yeah.
They own Cuisinart kitchen equipment.
Damn.
I mean, they own a lot of everything. They're one of my biggest clients. They've actually helped elevate me so much, because when you work with companies like this, you get on big platforms in the hair industry, and the more magazines I made it to, or the more podcasts I made it to, it was able to grow my brand. And you know, the consulting things, it's good if you have the right people, because there's nothing worse than giving someone advice and they don't take it. You got to deal with that. Like sometimes you feel like you're dropping some gems and they just do the opposite.
Or do nothing.
Or do nothing. Yeah, I'd rather them try than do nothing. But
yeah.
So-
No, I was thinking like to myself, how do you choose the brands that you actually say, all right, these align with me? Like Conair, obviously that makes sense. Andis makes sense. There's a lot of brands in this space. How do you decide, all right, they're aligned with what I'm trying to do with my vision?
So a lot of them choose you, right? And I've interviewed brands. If they don't meet like my morals, like in what I stand, I've turned down a lot of money. Not all money is good money, right? If they have a good mission statement and they're good to people, I'll work with anybody. And that's why I started working with Squire in 2019. I got hired 2019, and then shortly after the world shut down for COVID. And I said, I will get with you guys, but there's a couple of things I want you to do. And I think it would be great for our industry. And they said we were already going to do that. We waived all of our monthly fees for membership. Like instead of just keeping it, like gym memberships didn't do that. We also sent pallets of rubber gloves, hand sanitizer, barbicide, bleach, cleaning equipment, so people could reopen their barbershops. Once I saw that Dave & Song did that for the industry, I knew, and at this point there were some glitches with our software, like with our app, that I didn't believe in, because people were complaining about it. And now obviously it's amazing. It's what, so, you know, and I'm not saying because I work for them, but we thought of everything. Now we have the Squire AI that you saw at the show. I realized that when Dave & Song were willing to give back to our community, like there was one company, they just got with Squire 2 months before, and we send them like $1,400 worth of stuff. We never even made money with them yet. So like, to me, they aligned on my principles. And, you know, I feel like the barbering industry was so underserved in so many different areas as far as the resources we were given in school, and then the resources we were looked at. Like, I remember people telling me, damn, you're just going to be a barber? Like, is this going to be like a little thing you're going to do for now? We weren't really respected, you know, I mean, due to some of the practices that were going on in barbershops.
But you also, you know, did the 7-stream thing, right? Like you had the multiple. I talked about that at the expo too. Like you can't just cut hair and think that's going to be a pathway to success. Like you found a lot of different avenues to make money off of your expertise of being a barber.
100%. And I think, and I'm no different than anybody, you know what I mean? Like, I think we all could do it. But you gotta stop that barbershop mentality. I'm no longer behind the chair, because what would happen is at this point, in 2011, I was getting $50 or $60 a haircut, which was good money back then. But I would also neglect the $30,000 sponsorship phone call while I'm doing a $50 haircut. So I'm like, damn, I just missed a call from Gillette because I'm shaving this dude, and I didn't believe in answering the phone because that's not professional while you're servicing a client. But you ever hear that saying, you can't trip over quarters to pick up pennies? And what happened was I was cutting so much hair and I wasn't making enough as I was getting from consulting and from sponsorship deals, that I had to slowly but surely get rid of all my clientele. And that's when I converted over to being a full-time consultant and entrepreneur, like the business side of barbering.
So you're not cutting?
No, I haven't managed. Every now and then, I got 2 sons, I cut their hair. If it's an emergency, if my plumber needs a haircut, like, because I always got plumbing issues for some reason. When you own a lot of real estate, there's always something with a frozen pipe, someone flushed a Barbie doll down a toilet. I mean,
So what's your how many properties do you own?
Right now I own 1, 2, 3, 4, 11 properties.
So, all in Connecticut?
Yes, all in Connecticut.
So yeah,
For now.
For now. Okay.
you want to scale that to more?
You know, so maybe. So here's the thing, like, the more roofs, the more leaks, right? I always want to scale it, right? Because obviously I use real estate as a depreciation tax and now with the new law that's been passed with the short-term rental, I believe, being able to write off 100, it's not as easy. It's not a loophole, but it is a tax advantage break. I do want to scale it, but like at my own pace. I feel as if like I bought, you talk about earn your leisure. I've earned my leisure. I could leave here right now and go to Dubai and go shopping when I could do what I want when I want. There's no obligations. And to me, that's priceless. The more roofs, the more leaks. Everything I got going on is cool. It looks good on paper, but there's always something. Like the biggest problem I have at the suites is the air conditioning. One suite's too cold, one suite's too hot. The one that's facing the windows, hot all the time. So it's like, there's nothing perfect, right? And when you're making money, nothing's just, I haven't met too many types of businesses that everything's smooth sailing. So yeah, I want to scale, but I want to scale at my own pace. Right now, it's about my children. Like I got an 18-year-old and a 14-year-old. And when my father died, he left me with a funeral and a car payment, So it's like, I don't want, I believe I'm the first millionaire in my family, and I just want to break that, like that not generational curse, but I just want to break, that, and I want my kids to be good. So
you mentioned Dubai. I wonder, does the teaching expand internationally? I know you did some work in Ireland, Russia, Portugal, Chile. Like, is that part of the plan, or is that already in place?
Yeah. So the issue is with the other countries, like, to be very transparent, there's not a big bag there for sponsorship dollars because they don't do a lot of revenue. Like in the third world countries or like a less developed country, they'll buy $100 clipper and they will fix, repair, solder that one clipper for 16 years. Whereas a barber here would just throw it out and buy another clipper when a supply guy comes. Also, there's certain laws when like people have distribution rules in certain cities, and there's certain states. Also, there's the wattage, the plugs.
Right,
certain
right.
clippers are going to blow up. So I'll go to where the money is. Like I was speaking to Rashad earlier. Like finally my first time going to Africa, I'm going to Lagos, Nigeria, and I was asking him a little bit about it. I'm going to go there December 11th to get some footage, and I'll be hosting my first event there. That's pretty dope. I have family in Angola, but it's on the other side of Africa. So I'm just pretty happy to go there as well. So yeah, I mean, I want to see the world and tell my story. And like I said, the money's always like, if you're doing the right thing and you're helping others, the money's always going to follow, So, I mean, I think I have no choice but to scale. I can't look back now, but like when it comes to real estate, man, I have to feel it. I have to feel it in the heart. Because you ever get some real estate like stuff thrown at you, like it's either too good to be true or something's not right with the property. I usually get that, like my third eye sees that. So like I just bought these three Airbnbs in a beach town that's extremely like new money's moving into the town. I'm literally 10 steps away from the ocean in Connecticut, right on the shoreline, next to a carousel, next to an ice cream stand. I bought it off market, but I felt it. I'm like, I looked at the building. It's two families and one family. And I'm like, this is going to be a gold mine. So I don't know. I'm not as risky as some of these investors. Like I know some really risky investors. So I don't know, a little more calculated, I would think. But I might need some advice on that, man, because you guys are the masters of scaling.
You know a thing or two.
Yeah,
I can't let you get out of here without asking this question, because you are the godfather. What are the essential pieces of equipment that a barber should have, or that you have, right? Like, what's the trimmer?
Yeah.
What's the, like, what should we be using? Or what would you use?
Yeah. I mean, I'm putting, I have to use Babyless because I'm in contract with them.
I'll use that.
Yeah, that's dope. So I got a dope care packages for you guys too.
Perfect.
So I need to I'm gonna get it to you guys. Honestly, if you're a good barber, you could cut hair with Walmart clippers. Like I'm gonna be completely transparent with you. If you have the technique, you have the technique. My personal stuff is this new compact series because I believe in traveling. So everything I have is like for little traveling kits or whatever. So there's a new compact series, Babyless clipper, trimmer, shaver. And I always, like, my biggest piece of advice to barbers is like, you should always have overstock in equipment.
Mm.
Always. A good friend of mine like went to cut Puff a long time ago, and he didn't have this is when clippers were wired. He didn't have an extension cord. So he was in France, and Puff wanted a haircut on the balcony, and the clipper wires in reach. And he goes, yo, I can't cut your hair here on the balcony. We got to cut it in the bathroom. He's like, Playboy, I'm paying you this much money to cut my hair, and I flew you to France. You better find an extension cord. You got 20 minutes. So like,
Did he find it?
he ended up finding it. But
Playboy.
yeah, but he was like, but am I right or wrong?
He's right.
Like, you should be completely prepared when you're going to any, because you'll never know. Like, you'll never know what you're going to need. So, with that being said, just regardless of what equipment you have, make sure you have it. Make sure you'll never know who's going to show up on that set. You might go to cut Rashad's hair, but his manager's a Mexican cat from Texas that has straight hair out to here, and you didn't bring scissors because Rashad didn't need scissors. Or, you might get beard color. You didn't bring beard color to enhance your beard or an enhancement of some sort. So I've learned, be prepared, because you'll never know if you're on a movie set or video set, what's going to come your way.
Where did the best barbers come from?
I don't know, man. All over, man.
It's okay to say New York, man.
New York,
I'm talking about just because DR got they came in and they just took
what
over.
I say about DR, because I have a Dominican salon that rents in my basement of my suites. The thing about DR is, like, at the end of the day, you got Haiti and DR, right? They're African people. They're African, but one speaks French and one speaks Spanish. So, but with the colonization and everything that happened, you got light-skinned, blue-eyed Dominicans. You got Michael Blacks and dark-skinned Dominicans, light-skinned. So I feel as if the Dominicans were able to master all hair types. And a lot, like, so for all my women, like predominantly the clientele at my suites are Black women that a lot of them work at Yale New Haven Hospital, and they come to the Dominican ladies because they know their hair, they're affordable. They get their roller sets, they get their blowouts from the Dominican women. So yeah, man, big up to Dominican barbers because they do all hair types. Man, to me, you're not a master barber unless you could cut any hair type. Like, you have to be able to cut every single hair type to be a master barber.
That's what's up. Man, shout out to my barber, Bubs. I think he went to your event a few times because I was telling him I was going. He said that he didn't go this year, but he had been. He's very familiar with the event and had good things to say about it. So yeah, man, barbers are vitally important to the ecosystem.
Yeah.
They keep the world spinning.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
At
They
all
keep you
times.
looking good.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to realize, like, barbers will cut your hair for the most important days of your life, right?
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think if we have the ability to, like, to use our relationships, because like I said, there's nothing worse when I see self-made in a barber's Instagram bio. Because, like, without our clients, we ain't nothing. And, like, the real celebrity client is that father that brings his son in every single week. Because I remember when I was younger, man, waiting in hotel lobbies, doing half a haircut. A celebrity gets on a Zoom, a phone call, comes back in. Like, I'm not chasing no grown man
That's
around
nasty.
for a
It's
haircut.
nasty. Yeah, it's nasty.
Well, I appreciate you, my brother. Anything else you want to say, or socials and all that?
Yeah, JAY_majors at Connecticut Barber Expo, June 5th through the 8th this year. It's going to be at Mohegan Sun. It's my 15-year anniversary of the show.
Congrats.
So thank you. So we're probably going to do like a big, I'm thinking of possibly doing a comedy show. I'm talking to some big comedians, and just come on out. It's a dope resort, and I just want to thank you guys for honestly having me here, man. I'm a big fan of what you guys are doing because it is needed. It's like this is essential right now, man, because money is scarce, and gold. What is gold at today, man? I saw it was like up 100,000 the other day, right? What is gold at today?
We'll go check in 2 seconds. It was at 4,300.
An ounce.
Shot down to 41.
No, but why have you guys here real quick, man? What is EYL? Like, what are y'all doing now? Because I love the Invest Fest. I'm definitely making it there.
Yeah, you got to come. We got to do some level of collaboration.
That's
at
what I was
Invest Fest.
thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
barber, especially we got the vendor marketplace.
Yeah.
It's had to be dope to kind of have some level of barber.
What city are you doing? Atlanta again?
We haven't announced it yet.
Okay.
Stay tuned alert has been issued. Stay
Coming
tuned
soon.
alert.
Okay.
Coming soon.
Yeah, I want to be able to hopefully give you guys some sponsorship or some way to help out.
No, I appreciate that.
Like
That'd be great.
just for what you're doing. I feel like so many people need to hear this, man. And you guys are genuine. You know what I mean? Like you really care. So I appreciate that.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it, my brother.
Yeah.
Let's definitely connect on anything we possibly can.
Yeah, and if you got any students that interested in coming down, man, we can work something out. Get some haircuts away.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll do whatever.
Yeah.
I had a barber for y'all today. He's not, I guess someone messaged him, Andy Authentic. Someone from your team messaged him. He cuts Jalen and Raekwon and a couple of other people.
Raekwon the chef?
Oh, yeah, he cuts.
That's he might be ahead of
Jalen got now that
Jalen Rose.
Yeah, Jalen Rose is here. It's like he's the
king.
He's the king.
Somebody from our team messaged him?
Someone, he's like, I'm so mad something happened. He thought someone from Earn Your Leisure messaged him a while ago.
Oh, okay.
I think he was on ESPN a lot with Jalen. So and then
Yeah. Nah, Jalen's is ridiculous.
Yeah, his
Jalen
cut's crazy.
Raekwon's fade was crazy.
Jalen gets a haircut 4 times a week.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
4 times a week. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Nah, this line is crazy. Though.
Hi, my brother. Well,
All right,
appreciate you, man. Thank you guys for rocking with us. See you next week. Peace.